Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into what I like to call the HydroVerse. We're going to explore the vital, yet totally hidden roles that water plays in modern automotive engineering. And we're kicking things off with an unexpected, water-based performance secret hidden right inside a modern, six-figure supercar.
Picture this. You're tearing around the legendary Nürburgring Nordschleife, and you cross the line with a blisteringly fast 7-minute and 28-second lap time. How on earth did BMW engineers squeeze an extra 50 horsepower out of the already potent M4 GTS to pull that off? You'd probably assume it was just aggressive engine tuning, right? Or maybe slapping on some massive turbochargers.
Well, actually, no. It sounds completely counterintuitive, especially when we're talking about mixing liquids and high-performance engines. But the secret ingredient supercharging this track-ready beast, it's just plain old water. Literally the exact same stuff you get from your kitchen tap.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at water in a supercar. Then, the science of water injection. After that, we'll see how it's cleaning up hydrogen engines. And finally, we'll dive into the water fuel scam.
All right, part 1, water in a supercar. Now, this isn't exactly a brand new idea. They actually used this tech back in World War II aircraft for emergency combat power. But BMW took that vintage concept and harnessed it for the open road. The M4 GTS rocks a 3.0-liter turbocharged straight-six that pumps out a massive 493 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. And the kicker? They integrated a 1.3-gallon water tank hidden right there in the trunk. It feeds 3 injectors and lets them push this engine to its absolute physical limits, giving us that stunning 7:28 lap time.
But here's what's really wild. According to Bosch, the guys who supply the hardware for this system, it doesn't just add raw muscle. It can actually drop fuel consumption by up to 13% during hard highway acceleration and saves you about 4% in normal everyday driving. It's that ultra-rare win-win for both performance and efficiency.
So let's get into the weeds. Section 2. The science of water injection.
Okay, so how does spraying a fire-extinguishing liquid into a combustion chamber actually make more power? Instinctively, you'd think, well, it's just going to put the fire out, right? But the physics here are brilliant. Think of it like the engine sweating to cool itself off. They inject this superfine mist of water into the intake manifold at about 145 psi. As that water hits the hot air, it evaporates. It undergoes a phase change and absorbs a massive amount of heat, which violently drops the intake air temperature by up to 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
And that sudden temperature drop? That is an engine tuner's absolute dream, because it directly alters something called the knock threshold. Basically, the knock threshold is the physical limit of how much you can compress the air-fuel mix before it explodes uncontrollably and destroys your engine. By chilling everything out, the water dramatically raises that threshold. This lets the engine safely run at a much higher compression ratio with advanced spark timing. You're effectively taking the thermal handcuffs off the engine, unlocking all that extra power without blowing anything to pieces.
Moving on to part 3, cleaning up hydrogen engines. So beyond just making sports cars go fast, water injection is actually turning into the unsung hero of sustainable mobility. It's already proven itself by slashing emissions in massive heavy-duty diesel engines, but now they're applying it to the next big frontier, hydrogen. Hydrogen fuel is super promising. Burning pure hydrogen completely eliminates carbon tailpipe emissions like CO2, which is fantastic. But there's a huge catch. It burns ridiculously hot. And when engine cylinders get that hot, the nitrogen and oxygen in the air fuse together to create a brand new headache, massive spikes in nitrogen oxide or NOx emissions.
Here's where water swoops in to save the day. In recent experimental studies, engineers used water injection as a sort of chemical dampener to bring down those extreme in-cylinder temperatures. And the results? By injecting just 5 kilograms of water an hour, they saw an astonishing 79% plunge in NOx emissions. And get this, at the exact same time, engine torque bumped up by 10%, the maximum engine load stretched out to 24 bar mmep, and thermal efficiency climbed to 42.5%.
When we track the fuel consumption trends across different hydrogen blends here, it paints a really clear picture. Injecting water brilliantly optimizes the whole combustion process. It proves that water isn't just a gimmick, it's a deeply practical, highly effective tool for thermal management in green tech. It keeps the engine cool, makes it more efficient, and dramatically cleaner for the environment.
All right, time for Section 4, the water fuel scam.
Now, unfortunately, water's amazing engineering properties have been totally twisted into one of the most stubborn pseudoscientific scams on the internet.
You've probably seen the clickbait, right? Ads pushing these HOH generators, claiming you can just hook up a jar of water to your car's electrical system, split it, and run your vehicle on free hydrogen fuel. Sounds like a dream, but can you actually run a car on water?
Spoiler alert, absolutely not. But man, does this myth refuse to die. Grifters and so-called inventors have been peddling this exact same snake oil for over a century. Check this out. Way back in 1918, Charles Fraser patented a hydrogen booster. Fast forward to 1984, Stanley Meyer made massive headlines claiming he ran a car on water. And then there's Daniel Dingle in the Philippines, who pushed this for decades until he was finally slapped with a 20-year prison sentence for fraud in 2008. Every single one of them thoroughly debunked.
And here is exactly why it's a scam. The whole HHO promise relies on this idea that you can split water using your car's alternator to generate free energy. But thermodynamic reality, specifically the first law of thermodynamics, does not care about internet hype. It impartially dictates that the energy required to electrolyze or split the water is always going to be greater than the energy you get back when you burn the resulting hydrogen. You literally cannot cheat the universe.
Let's break down the brutal math to really put this in perspective. Let's say you've got a beefy alternator cranking out 1,600 watts of electricity. A really good, generously efficient electrolyzer is only going to turn that into about 800 watts of chemical energy. And since internal combustion engines are notoriously inefficient, usually around 25%, burning those chemicals leaves you with a pathetic 200 watts of actual motive power at the crank.
But wait, we have to ask, where did the alternator get its power in the first place? From the engine. You literally had to burn about 3,000 watts worth of gasoline just to spin the alternator to start this whole cycle. So you were spending 3,000 watts of gas to get 200 watts back. Actually, scratch that. It's worse than useless. The HHO generator is effectively a machine perfectly designed to throw away 94% of the energy it consumes. It doesn't give you free efficiency, it aggressively destroys it.
And just using some basic common sense here, automakers spend billions, literally billions of dollars to squeeze out single-digit percentage gains in fuel economy. If bolting a jar of water to the intake actually created free efficiency, every single manufacturer on Earth would have universally adopted it decades ago, just like they did with electronic fuel injection.
As one automotive critic absolutely nailed it, this whole concept is just a gobsmacking thermodynamic fraud waiting for some scientifically illiterate muppet. So the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today is this. Water is an absolutely brilliant tool for thermal management, but it is an impossible source for free energy. Water injection is a scientifically proven miracle for cooling down supercars and cleaning up green engines, but it will never, ever be a magic fuel that lets you bypass the laws of physics.
As we accelerate toward a zero-emission future, I want to leave you with this to chew on. Will this simple, life-giving liquid be the ultimate key to saving the internal combustion engine, making it clean enough to survive? Or is water injection just a fascinating temporary stepping stone on our inevitable path to full electrification? Thanks for exploring the HydroVerse with me on today's Explainer. Keep asking questions and always look for the structure in the science. Catch you next time.